we are going to discuss about India-Maldives relation. Why it was in news? We know. It was in news because President Ibrahim Solih has visited India, and he is considering that India is highest priority for Maldives with respect to the relationship, and they have signed 6 agreements. India and Maldives have signed 6 agreements. Are we good till here? So you are already following your news, so you know that why, what is the context, in what context we should discuss it. Now, whenever we are discussing about India Maldives, initially first we should know that why it is in news. So it is in news because they have signed 6 agreements. So agreements related to cyber security has been signed, and cyber security is on agenda for India and Maldives both because of the transnational crimes and terrorism activities. So yes, Maldives is struggling with ISIS related activities, radicalization. So they are facing such challenges. So cyber security agreement they have signed, women and child development related agreements has been signed, disaster management related agreement has been signed, and agreement has been signed with respect to the infrastructure development. Like this, the 6 agreements which has been signed, they cover all these dimensions. Okay, and other than this, the present news is also important because of this Greater Malay Connectivity Project, GMCP. It has been launched. The first concrete of the Greater Malay Connectivity Project was started or has been, this project has been launched by Honorable Prime Minister Modi and the President Ibrahim Solih. So it is a project of 6.74 kilometers long. And here India is financing this project worth $500 million. Okay, so this project is important. And the objective of this project is to connect Malé, that is the capital of Maldives, with other island areas which are there in the region. So I will show you one image, then you will get a clarity. So that is one aspect. So whatever neighboring islands are there, this project through bridges, it is going to connect Malé with other islands, neighboring islands. Then India has also extended $100 million line of credit, LOC, in order to complete the other infrastructure projects which are going in Maldives. Okay. Next is India has also gifted, second time India is gifting landing assault craft. So it is a ship where the facilities of landing, it is an assault craft. So landing facilities are there. So it has been given as a gift. Also, India has given 24 utility vehicles to this the National Defense Force of Maldives in order to make their functioning more efficient. So that project, that utility vehicles has been gifted. So India has given that. Also, Ibrahim Solih, in news, you would have come across this line that he has praised India, that India was the first country to respond when Maldives was in crisis because of the COVID pandemic. So, and Maldives was one of the first country to get Covishield from India, developed by Serum Institute. Okay, so because of all these things, the present news is more important and relevant. Okay? So with this, now we know the context. We know the context, that in what context Ibrahim Solih has come, what has happened, what India has done, what is their opinion about us. All these things we know. Now, whenever you are preparing, don't leave your preparation till here only. Now you have prepared what is there in the current affairs. Now the real journey, real learning will happen when you will take steps forward. How to take those steps and what to do. So whenever any specific news is there, be it bilateral relation or any BRICS is there, United Nations is there, or any agreement has been signed, or even at national level, president is in news, or anti-defection, whatever is happening in Maharashtra, it is in news, or parliamentary reforms, as we discussed yesterday, that because of Dr. PPK Ramacharlu committee was constituted by Vice President to suggest reforms in the functioning of Rajya Sabha. So if that is in news, take these news articles to cover that topic in a holistic manner. So like we are going to do today. So till here we have covered what is in news. Now we should know the brief timeline of the relationship, how our history has been in the past. So our relationship started in 1965. Okay, is it visible? 1965. So in 1965, what happened? Maldives got independence, and India was the first country to recognize that. Till that time, Britishers, they were having hold on Maldives. So India was the first country to recognize the independence, and since then we started our diplomatic relation. That you should know. 1965, India को आजादी 1947 में ही मिल गई थी. So it is relevant. And India was sensitive कि नहीं ठीक है. If there is something going on, then we should also recognize decolonization process. Then came 1976. So why 1976 was important? Because in 1976, there is a Minicoy Island. If you know that Minicoy Island is a group of, where it is located? Prelims question for you. Come on, prelims question. Minicoy Island, where is it located? Option: Maldives, Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Mauritius. It is group of which part? Lakshadweep. Chalo. It means you know these basic information, that clarity is there. Good. So in 1960s, 70s, after independence, Maldives used to claim Minicoy. And till that time, we were having that dispute, but we resolved that dispute by signing this Maritime Boundary Treaty in 1976. And since then, Minicoy is Maldives is not claiming any claim over Minicoy, any territorial authority over Minicoy Islands. Okay, so that one dispute was there, and we have resolved it. So that is important for India and Maldives relation. Okay. Next, in 1988, there was Operation Cactus, which was led by India to tackle the coup attempt. At that time, there was a president, and there were opponent parties who started a coup. They started a coup attempt to overthrow the then present government, the government at that point of time. So Indian Army led from the front, and they tackled this coup attempt, and that name of that operation was Operation Cactus. So the whole coup attempt was opposed, or it was neutralized. So that Operation Cactus is very important again from India and Maldives relation. So they always recognize this, that how India had at that point of time. Next, in 2004, tsunami came, and that time also India was the first country to send the humanitarian assistance during tsunami to Maldives. Next, 2014, since 2014, when our Honorable Prime Minister Modi came. So since then, we have this India First policy, and Modi ji also introduced Sagar for Indian Ocean region, that is security and growth for all in the region. So that was recognized, and Maldives is considered as very important part of that. So India's neighborhood policy, neighborhood first policy, and Sagar initiative, Maldives plays very important role. And also in 2014, there was a water crisis. So India was the first country to send gallons of water for the basic needs of the citizens in Maldives. So this is a brief timeline of the relationship, timeline of the historical relationship, and you can add 2022, we have signed agreements, cyber security agreements. So like this, we can add. So since we have already discussed 2022 on the previous slide, so I have not kept it here. But now you know that from 2022, you have to trace back the history, and you should know in depth, in detail. Acha, how much depth you should know? Is this much sufficient, or you should do your own research on the history? No, this much is sufficient. After all, you just need to draw a timeline in your answers for mains. That much is sufficient. So don't do any extra research. Don't make notes of 2 to 3 pages. So this also I wanted to tell you that whenever you are preparing any notes on a topic, you just note down only those much points as much as you can replicate in your answers. If you are just doing copy paste, or if you are dumping information in your booklet, that is not advisable, because neither you will be able to remember it, nor you will be able to replicate it. And more, before replicating, याद तो रहेगा ही नहीं कुछ, right? So we have to be very cautious whenever we are collecting information. ठीक है? And especially this visit, the visit of President Ibrahim Solih is very important, keeping in mind the post-Sri Lankan crisis. So after this Sri Lankan crisis, Maldives and the island nations and the nations which are dependent or who have seen China's debt trap policy, they are now conscious that in future they might also face the same problem, the crisis which Sri Lanka is facing. So now this realization is acute, especially after seeing the problems in Sri Lanka, and China's large pockets are good, but those large pockets are a trap which should be avoided. Okay, so now the countries are realizing that. Okay, so that is also, this visit is also significant, keeping in mind the recent Sri Lankan crisis. Also, if you can recall whatever we have discussed, India has gifted a landing craft. India has given 24 utility vehicles for national defense forces. Both countries have signed a cyber security agreement. It means that both countries are considering and keeping in mind this security point of view in the center. Transnational security. They are talking about transnational issues, terrorism, ISIS. So they have realized that how important it is, because Maldives came face to face with ISIS when 300 of its citizens joined ISIS way back in 2014. So now they know that how dangerous it can be for their country. Okay, so now they are also alert, keeping in mind the Sri Lankan crisis and keeping in mind the involvement and the role of ISIS in their country. Okay, so in that context and keeping our brief timeline, the history of our relationship, now we shall discuss the area of cooperation. So our areas of cooperation. Okay, now I will tell you that whenever you are preparing for any topic on international relation, you should know that the areas of cooperation between India, US, India, China, India, Sri Lanka, India, Maldives, India neighborhood, India and Middle East, India and East Asia. So whenever you are preparing, you should categorize and then prepare. If you have good categories, then you will be able to recall better and your presentation will be better. You will get to know when we will discuss. So you should have categories, and under that respective categories, you should have points to substantiate those categories. So let's see how it will come. Areas of cooperation. So the first area of cooperation which we will discuss is related to diplomatic relations between India and Maldives. ठीक है, till here are we good everyone? किस किस को समझ में आ रहा है, किस किस को नहीं आ रहा है? Are we good till here, my dear students? Are we good? चलो, okay, great. बीच बीच में ऐसे मैसेजेस भेजते रहना ताकि पता चले that you guys are not sleeping, right? Okay, diplomatic relations. So diplomatic relation, whenever we say, it is important because India also recognized Maldives way back in 1965 when the first the independence was given, or they got independence. And Maldives also have been supporting India at United Nations, within NAM, SAARC nations, or the Commonwealth nation. Every time Maldives have been very vocal for India's position or India's viewpoint. Or if any election is there, Maldives used to support the Indian representatives from India who are representing the seat there. Okay. Then Maldives also co-sponsored G4 draft resolution on UNSC reform. So UNSC reforms, India has been very vocal for that. India wants reform. India wants equality for all the developing and developed nation, and justice in the true justice in the representation. So there also Maldives has co-sponsored these resolution and related to those reforms. And not only that, it is from India's side also, India has also supported to Maldives candidature for non-permanent seat in UNSC in 2019 and 2020. So like this, we both have been, India and Maldives, we both have been helping each other at international forums related to reforms, related to our concerns of the region. So we have been supporting each other. And that is the reason that time to time, the high-level dignitaries will visit and they will exchange the greetings or the concerns over the region. So that is part of our diplomatic relation. बस इतना ही जानना है. इससे ज्यादा डेप्थ में जाके and knowing in detail will not help and not required for the exam. Maximum you will get a 10 marker or a 20 marker question, 15 marker question. That is all. So know your boundaries, that where to stop. Whole day you can't give, or 2 days you can't give for India Maldives only. Okay. So in between I will keep telling you answer writing tips, and in between I will keep telling you that how much is relevant for the exam and how should you prepare. Okay, next area of cooperation which is good for all the countries is one, economic and trade. So related to economic and trade, India and Maldives have signed a trade agreement in 1981 where the export of essential commodities was recognized, and time to time this list will be revised, some things will be extended, some facilities will be given. So this उतना डेप्थ में जानने की जरूरत नहीं है. A trade agreement of 1981 is there where which supports the export of the essential commodities. That much is sufficient. Next is we have a bilateral trade. Whenever you are preparing any country, you should know the bilateral trade, you should know the trade deficit. Whenever you are talking about India, China, you should know the volume of trade deficit. Then only your answers will be unique, and then only you can substantiate your points that yes, India and China have trade deficit, but kitna hai? How much? What is the volume of that trade deficit? That will be substantiated only with the help of data. Okay, next. So India, Maldives, for the first time in 2021, we have reached this limit of $300 million. That is the worth of our bilateral trade. Next. India also imports metal scrap from Maldives. So this is like we import, and what we export under economic and trade, we are continuing. We also export our engineering and industrial products, be it radar, drugs, cement, agriculture goods, and the goods related to infrastructure industries. So all these commodities related to engineering and industrial and agri produce, we are exporting to Maldives. So that is important. SBI. So we have State Bank of India. State Bank of India, SBI has been giving loan assistance since 1974 for the promotion of island resort. So the local business groups, and SBI has been giving loan assistance since 1974. How important SBI is for Maldives. So that way you can also analyze the importance of PSUs in India and in international relation. Okay. So they give loan to resorts, export of marine products or business enterprises. They have been giving loan assistance. Next, India has given the budgetary support of $1.4 billion and currency swap for $400 million. So the budgetary support has been given because it was requested. The Maldivian president, he requested that we post-COVID pandemic for the economic recovery, they wanted money. So they requested India, and India extended that through budgetary supports. Through budgetary support, we have extended it, and the principal amount has to be paid only after 10 years. So at very low interest rate, we have offered that, we have extended that support for their economic recovery post-COVID pandemic. So now we should know that if India is capable in a region, if I'm a big player and if my economy is better than my neighboring countries, then I should offer help. If we offer help, it helps in building trust between the two countries, and then only our relation will be more stable. So here the relationship, what India is sharing with Maldives and what China is sharing with Maldives is completely different. Ours is based on the foundational value of friendship and humanitarian support. But China's is based on, no, they want to play some important role, dominating role in the region, in Indian Ocean. So they extend their economic help they offer their economic help to countries for a hidden benefit. And it leads to crisis sometimes, like Sri Lankan crisis. Okay, so this is about India's economic and trade relationship. Next, we also provide concessional line of credit. So as we discussed this time, we have extended 100 million US dollar line of credit. In past also, we time to time we have provided concessional line of credit worth 100 million for other infrastructural projects. Now, specific, we will discuss about infrastructural development. So India has been very instrumental in development of the infrastructure in Maldives. Maldives kya hai? Anyone? Maldives is a continental island. Prelims question. Is it a continental island? Is it a volcanic island? Is it a coral island? What? Anyone? Let me see. It's a coral island. Okay. Coral island. Very good. So atolls are there. So for the development of the infrastructure on those atolls, time to time, India has been helping Maldives. So in 1995, Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital was opened for the with India's grant assistance for the welfare of the people. India Maldives Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism Studies was established in 2002 when our Honorable Prime Minister Vajpayee ji and President Gayoom, Honorable President Prime Minister Vajpayee ji visited there. So Prime Minister Vajpayee and President Gayoom, they together inaugurated this facility. What is the purpose? As the name is suggesting, Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism. Maldives is known for tourism only. 75% of their economy is dependent upon tourism. If that is the status, then definitely the human resource should be trained in such a manner so that they can cater the needs of the tourists all across the world. So now they have a Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism Studies, training के लिए, studies के लिए, capability develop करने के लिए. Also, NCPLE, so that is National Center for Police and Law Enforcement, with the help of Government of India's grant in March 2022, it has been established, and it is one of the largest grant project by India in Maldives, and it was inaugurated by our External Affairs Minister in March 2022. So it is for police and law enforcement related, a national center for that. Again, उनकी capability develop करने के लिए, to empower them, to build their capability, right? And if we are building their capability, what will be our interest? Since they are our neighborhood first, if they are stable, we will be also stable. Now just imagine if ISIS is there in Maldives, do you think that we will be stable? No. So we should cooperate with each other for the empowerment. Okay. Then ADDU development project. So ADDU, basically here if you have a look, so this is the map of Maldives from north to south. So the atolls are aligned like this. Okay. So this is north, this is south, and this is equator, and below equator we have ADDU atoll. So India is also extending loans, or India is helping in development of this ADDU development project. In March 2022, India has extended help the finances for the development of this ADDU atoll south of equator. Why? Because it is one of the southernmost atoll of Maldives. So the idea is that this project will be one of the key projects, and it will establish ADDU as the southern regional hub of Maldives. Okay, so as you can see here, southern regional hub for Maldives. And if it is the southernmost island, southernmost atoll, and if it is developed, don't you think that it will be also of interest for India in future? If something is required, let's say if some problem is there, and if India has cooperated, then definitely the facilities can be used by Maldives also, and Maldives will support India also. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही हम एक दूसरे की हेल्प करते हैं और डेवलप करते हैं, right? So this is about the infrastructure development projects. Next, the other projects related to infrastructure are cancer hospital. So it is proposed. So this proposed hospital will be a model center, and here it will help in connecting this facility of cancer hospital. It will facilitate the connection of the other regional hospitals in Maldives. So almost it will connect 150 plus health centers in Maldives on various islands. So as you have seen that it is made up, Maldives is made up of different atolls. So they are remotely located. They are not interconnected. So if there is one center, through internet, through telemedicine, through it, this particular cancer hospital, the proposal is that it will become a center for connecting their 150 plus health centers on various islands. तो एक तरीके से headquarter समझ लो, right? Next is Hulu Male Cricket Stadium. So this Hulu Male Cricket Stadium is part of sports tourism. It is a part of sports diplomacy. So here also during External Affairs Ministers visit in March 2022, March 2019, this was inaugurated. And the purpose is that already Maldives is famous for tourism, then why not sports? So now they are promoting sports also. It will be good for the economy. And you know that in any country, if one sports is organized, the infrastructure, the ancillary industry, the growth of those ancillary industry, hospitality, all these industries will also flourish. So it is good for the country. So they are now in future, they are going to host the sports facilities and sport activities as well. And this project is very important. Gulhi Falu Port Project. Gulhi Falu Port Project is important because I will show you one map. We are already funding Greater Malay Connectivity Project and $500 million we have given in this meeting only, and we have inaugurated. Honorable Prime Minister Modi and President Ibrahim Soli, they have inaugurated. So as part of this connectivity project, we have this image. So here we have Malé. Malé is on one of the atoll, and Malé is the capital of Maldives. It is located on one of the atoll. Then there is a small atoll, a small island is there, whose name is Willingili. Then another island is there, whose name is Gulifau. Okay, so like that, this Great Malay Connectivity Project is going to link these islands with the help of bridges. Okay, so Great Malay Connectivity Project, it is aiming to connect all these islands. One is Willingili, Malay, then Gulifau. All these islands will be connected with the help of series of bridges, roads, causeways. ठीक है, तो ये connectivity program है. And Gulifau, it is one of the port islands. So here port development, port project is also being envisaged, and that is also being supported by India. So near to Malé, if we are developing a project and that to a port, the purpose is that it will decongest the already congested port of Malé. So the traffic will be diverted in future. So Mumbai port was already congested. We developed another port. Now, can you please tell me, prelims question, which port was developed in order to decongest the Mumbai port? Anyone? All okay? Are you guys there? So it is your homework then, if you don't know. So do you get the clarity that why this Gulifau project is being, port project is being developed near Malé? Yes, Jawaharlal Nehru Port. Not sure? You are closer. Next. So we have discussed the dimensions like infrastructure development, we have discussed economy and trade, we have discussed diplomacy. Now we are discussing about security. So with respect to security and defense cooperation, already in 2016, we have signed a comprehensive action plan between two countries. Guys, are you there? Okay. So comprehensive action plan 2016 we have signed with the India and Maldives have signed for defense partnership, and the whole purpose is of capacity building And as part of the capacity building, we are already training 70% of their defense requirements is being fulfilled by India only. So we are training their defense forces, their armed forces we are training. So 70% of requirement capacity building is being done through India. Also, time to time, we conduct joint exercises like Dosti, wherein, Operation Shield has been started very recently in 2021. Okay. अभी जब भी हम बात करते हैं, whenever we are talking like these heads, so when you will know these points in detail or in brief also, if you know, then only you will be able to substantiate it. If you simply write that India and Maldives, they are cooperating with each other over security issues, then that statement is not justified until unless you substantiate it with the help of example. So simply don't write that, yes, we are cooperating in the field of space. We are cooperating in the field of climate change. What cooperation? So be specific. Whenever you are, be very alert now, whenever you are covering any topic in a holistic manner, then you should add the points to substantiate where, how we are cooperating with each other. ठीक है? So ऐसे ध्यान रखना है. Next, we also organize annual defense cooperation dialogue at the level of defense secretary. So that is also one of the annual affair. With respect to disaster management, we are training their forces with respect to human assistance and disaster HADR activities and pollution control. Their Coast Guard, since 2016, we have been training them with respect to pollution control. Okay, so HADR activities, human assistance and disaster relief activities, the training is being given by India to their forces. So all these dimensions, wherever you are talking that the cooperation is happening at the level of security, then what all dimensions you should think and write. समझ में आ रहा है? Guys, am I clear? Are you guys understanding? Next dimension, and it is very important dimension from economy point of view as well. That is our tourism. As I told you in the starting itself, that 75% of Maldives GDP is dependent on tourism. And if we talk about India's contribution in that, then India is the 5th largest source of tourist arrival for Maldives in 2018. And at present, that is 2022, India's share is approximately somewhere 15% in their total tourist arrival. So that is very important. Next, we should not miss this dimension of diaspora, education and diaspora. So 10 seats per year we are reserving for the India Science Research Fellowship program is there. So in that 10 seats per year we are reserving for the candidates from Maldives. So here we are empowering them through education also and their research activities. We are training their human resource in the field of research, science and research. Then approach 27,000 diaspora is there in Indian diaspora is there in Maldives, and they all are serving in different fields like as a doctor, nurses, teachers, unskilled laborers and business community. So majority of Indians, they are working in these fields in Maldives. So now you got a broad understanding that what Indians are doing. So people to people, whenever you are writing about people to people connectivity, so write about these observations. ठीक है? Till now, whatever we have discussed is just areas of cooperation. And we have discussed around 5 to 6 subheads. Under that head, we have discussed various points. Like this, whenever you are preparing any topic in a holistic manner, you should think comprehensively. And today we have taken this example of international relation. Whenever you are preparing any country, any relationship, then you should cover in this manner in a holistic way. Okay? But don't stop here also. Now we have finished our areas of cooperation. We should also know the issues between India and Maldives. Then only our analysis will become holistic. So what is our analysis with respect to issues in cooperation? Islamic radicalization. Maldives is struggling with Islamic radicalization, and they have ISIS madrasas. They have the presence of ISIS. Pakistani madrasas are there. And these two, ISIS and Pakistani madrasas, they are very vocal, they are very active in the protests which are happening with respect to anti-India protest, anti-India campaign, whatever is there. So there they are very vocal, very active and involved. And in fact, they sometimes organize that. Okay. Second issue is related to China's dominance in our neighborhood. So China's dominance can be seen with the help of these grants and soft loans, which is offered time to time to the government. In fact, they have also built certain bridges, which is named as China Maldives Friendship Bridge to provide the connectivity to the airport. So that has been funded by China. They have also played role in airport development and the development of the resorts. Okay? So development of different resorts they have funded. Also, our neighborhood is struggling with political instability. Political instability, we have seen that now Ibrahim Soli is there. Before that, Nasheed was there. And time to time, some of the other coup activities, coup attempts will be made. In 1988, coup attempts were made and Indian Army played an important role through Operation Cactus. But in the recent history also, they are not politically stable. And if our neighborhood is not politically stable, then it is threat for the country also. Because it might happen that any other government will have pro-China sentiment, like we discussed yesterday. So because of that pro-China sentiment, strategically, China will be a threat for us. Or if they are supporting radicalization, then it is a security threat directly for us. So whenever you are talking about the political instability, analyze it that how this political instability is not good for the country. My dear students, just writing them will not help. We should write and then we should analyze. For analysis, we should have points to substantiate. This is answer writing tip I'm giving you again and again. Simply don't write hung statements. So whenever you are preparing your notes, you prepare in such a manner where you are talking about the analysis aspect and substantiation both. Now be very alert whenever you are making your notes from the current affairs. That analysis के लिए arguments हैं या नहीं हैं? Do I have points, arguments for analysis? Do I have points to substantiate my arguments? Yes or no? Okay, then only our reading of newspaper or collection will become meaningful. Like yesterday we discussed that from one article of governor, what all arguments you can extract. Anti-India sentiments are already there. So the earlier, there are political groups who are organizing India Out campaign. Then there is another project, UTF project is there. And the whole purpose of that UTF project is to develop their military capability. But somehow it is being projected that India is involved in that project because India wants to use it for their own presence in the region. So it is creating an anti-India sentiment. Okay. So where is this UTF project? So UTF project is here. So we have Malé here, port of Malé is there, and UTF is there. Here, they are developing this harbor project. So because of this also there are anti-India sentiments. Projects now, sometimes it happens that many of my students ask this question also, sir, how important it is to remember the names of the project? It is very important. If you don't remember the names of the project, then how will you substantiate it? And don't overdo, don't remember all the names of all the projects, not required. Just remember how much ever you can write in the examination. That much is only important. 1 or 2 projects for different fields are sufficient, are good enough. Okay. After issues, don't end your answer, don't end your collection of your notes or your points here only. You should write also about the way forward. So way forward for any good relation is the economic cooperation. Maldives is already having good products, seafood products are there. So we should already, the provision is being made that how the seafoods can be exported from Maldives to India. So that we should explore. Infrastructure activities, as we are collaborating, so we should deepen our infrastructure collaboration further for better connectivity and better economic development of the region. If the economic development is good, then the radicalization, it will be a check for radicalization in the region, because there will be employment for everyone, there will be growth for everyone. ऐसे analyze करना है. Like this you should analyze whenever you are writing. Just economic cooperation is a way forward. Fine, but why economic cooperation is a way forward? Analyze it. India's private sector should be engaged more actively in the development, construction of the Maldives economic activities, infrastructure. So that also you can write that how India's private sector can explore different avenues of cooperation in Maldives. Better our economic relation, better our other relation would be, and it will be a check for any kind of war or any kind of instability. Also, Maldives is located at very strategic location. Whenever we talk about Indian Ocean, have a special viewpoint about any country whenever you are reading. Uski strategic location, when you will know, then we should have a vision for Indo-Pacific region. And here, India and Maldives, they both should collaborate with each other. With respect to maritime security, for strategic engagements, to counter piracy, to counter the radical groups, terrorism or terror financing, money laundering. Are you understanding? कैसे सोचना है? What should be the horizon of your thought process, the dimensions in which you have to think? Then only you will be able to relate and link. Otherwise, simple analysis will happen. Okay. Next, you talk about the upcoming, anticipate. Whenever you are writing in way forward, anticipate the future problems and write in that aspect. We should cooperate with respect to climate change and disaster management. So we should engage more there so that we can work on climate change issues. For example, when Honorable Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was there, so already we were negotiating and we were working on a deal that what will happen if the climate change is creating problem and environmental refugees are there in Maldives, then how, with respect to those environmental refugees, what role India can play. So like this, we should anticipate the upcoming challenges and we should collaborate there, we should engage there with disaster management or climate change. We should ensure the vision of rule-based order in Indo-Pacific, pave the way for sustainable development. Very good, yes. So that can be your next point, the rule-based order in the Indo-Pacific region and the sustainable development. Very good point. So like this, you should write a way forward and then you should end. Okay? So my dear students, now you tell me, have you got a holistic understanding about the topic, that how you should cover, yes or no? So with this, we end our India Maldives. And this is a very good understanding about one topic. So now have you got to know that how this was one news, India Maldives, 6 agreements has been signed, cyber security agreement has been signed, and we have covered whole India Maldives. समझ में आया? Like how we should do, in what way we should cover, yes, no, in what depth we should cover, what dimension should be there. So don't overdo and don't underdo. You should not be underprepared as well. Whenever you are preparing, this is how you prepare one issue from the current affairs. Now, even if you have missed any development, if you have not read any newspaper in March, that also we have covered. So that's why in the starting only, Prashanti, when Prashanti or someone asked that how we should cover the newspaper, which we have been not able to cover in the previous months, don't worry about it. Prepare any topic in a holistic manner so that the whole issue will be covered, be it of 1 year, 2 years, or since their origin. Okay? Okay.